Hello and welcome to another episode of Marketing for Your Future. I'm your host, Cindy Ashton, coming to you from New York City. And I'm absolutely thrilled because today we have another fantastic guest. Welcome to Rob Davis from Novus Next. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Cindy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. How are you doing out in the windy city?
Yeah, manageable today. Not nearly as the snow that you guys got out east.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So tell us a little bit, Rob, about your business.
Yeah, so I'm with Novus Next, and we're a media planning and buying agency. But what makes us a little different is we really specialize in very hyper local media. Everything we do is through sort of a lens of geography, which we find is really important for most clients in helping drive their business.
Fabulous. And I love the idea of being hyper focused on finding that niche and really exploding it. What do you feel is really the trends happening in the next 2 years when it comes to the marketing world?
Yeah, I mean, certainly for what we're seeing is that is a trend from kind of the blast national marketing approach to really, particularly in a post-COVID world where regulations and sadly, infection rates and things like that, we're really seeing differences by market. We've got clients that are restaurants where they might be closed in one part of town and open in another, and so those kind of differences are leading a lot of marketers to move away from kind of the one plan, one blast, one buy for the whole country, and really finding the need for very kind of regionalized and even down to kind of zip code level marketing.
Wow, that's amazing. Right down to the zip code. And what do you feel with that? Do you feel like since COVID has happened, that part of the need to really go down to the zip code is also about more of a personal connection? Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's having that understanding where like-minded people kind of congregate geographically, and then taking it down to the level of what message resonates with them, or how do they consume media differently, really at an individual level. So the proverbial funnel has evolved from not just kind of awareness consideration, but also in terms of you know geographically down to their zip code or their street or even their individual house.
And when it comes to media buying, what kind of data are you looking at? And is any data ever good or bad? Is there differences in data of what people should be looking at?
Yeah, I love the question, even the way you posed that, because we of course love data. Data's all the buzz in the industry, and data is good generally speaking. What's interesting though is what we're finding increasingly is some data is worth paying for and other data is not. And so rather than paying everything at a per impression level, particularly with digital media, really understanding what's worth in terms of an incremental business impact, which data is worth paying for, that actually is directly tied to driving client business. That's, I think, where it gets interesting, and where you can make strategic choices about how, when, where, and which data you apply.
Rob, that is absolutely brilliant because there has been in the past what you talk about of that blast marketing, and we're going to try this and try this. Whereas what you're talking about is where am I going to get my best ROI and what's the strategy behind it? I think that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
And thank you to all of you who've been tuning in. If you to another episode of Marketing for Your Future, and if you are waiting for the next segment, it is coming up. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you want to really connect with Rob because he's fantastic, go to dailyadbrief.com.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.